Welcome to rSlash Topposts, where OP wants to murder her boyfriend's cat. Our next Reddit post is from Feline Frustration. I'm a 25-year-old woman, and my boyfriend, who's 27 of a year, has a cat, and the way that he treats it bothers me. I've been dating this guy for a year. He's otherwise nice, handsome, funny, and has a good job. But he has a cat that he's had for years that I think he's way too attached to and affectionate about. If the cat is sitting on his lap, he'll avoid getting up unless he has to, citing the cat being asleep, or in his terms, she's catting. He's asked me to get him stuff from the kitchen when I get a drink, when he could just move the cat himself. Sometimes he'll be at the computer, on the couch, or even lying in bed, and the cat will jump on him. Or he'll come home when I'm already there since I have a key, and sometimes get off work before, and the cat will run to greet him. What bothers me is in these instances, he says more than once, there's my girl, and stop what he's doing to scratch the cat behind its ears or pet it or whatever. This seems like way too much attention for a grown man to be lavishing on a cat, of all things. I've considered suggesting he get rid of it, but he's had it for something like 7 years, and I don't know if he would give it up. Do I have any options here? Yeah, seek therapy. The jealousy here is off the charts. I bet if an actual human woman tried to talk to OP and say something completely scandalous like, "Hello, sir, may I take your order?" OP would claw the woman's eyes out. In an edit, OP adds, "I'm really surprised at how this is apparently normal. If that's the case, I don't think I could deal with this in the long term, and I should do myself a favor and consider ending the relationship." Then, the next day, OP posted an update. Yesterday, I posted about concerns I had with the way that I thought my boyfriend was overly affectionate with his cat. I, like the rest of my family, view pets in a utilitarian light. I'm just not comfortable with a lot of affection being displayed towards an animal, even if it's supposedly normal. Ugh. I gave it consideration during and after the thread, and decided to break up with my boyfriend. When I broached the topic and the reason, his response was, "Oh, good. To be honest, I've been trying to figure out the most tactful way to break it off, since our argument where you wanted me to euthanize my cat to save money. I also wanted to take time to think if I was sure I thought that we were done. You can give me your apartment key back now and have your stuff out by Friday night. I'll buzz you in if you can't finish tonight." So I guess that's it. That was abrupt. Edits. Lots of people are commenting about the euthanasia thing. I was surprised that he'd spend $600 on a vet bill. I figured putting the cat down would be cheaper. My dad never spent money like that on a vet. I'm sorry about cracking up on this one. There's the normal level of, this is funny because this woman has no heart and she's jealous of a cat, which is just bonkers. But then on top of that, to go to the internet of all places and complain about cats is just stupid. If a time traveler came in from the year 1700 and they said, "What's the internet?" you'd respond with, "Well, it's got a lot of porn and they really love cats." So what was OP expecting here? For the internet to grab their pitchforks and want to hang the cat from the gallows? Our next Reddit post is from Ecstatic Garden. I'm a 26-year-old woman, and I went through my 36-year-old's boyfriend's phone after he got mugged. My boyfriend and I have been together for 3.5 years. He works for an airline and frequently has trips that take him out of the country. I don't mind this because it was understood when we started dating that he would have to travel internationally, which usually meant that he was gone for 3 to 4 days. Well, one of his trips took him to Belgium, not somewhere I would automatically think of as dangerous. But one night during his trip, he went out with his fellow flight attendants and got drunk. At some point during the night, he got separated from his friends and had his wallet and phone stolen. When he got back to the hotel, he called me from his Apple Watch crying, telling me what happened. I went into defense mode, asked if he was okay, and offered to go into his iPad, which was at home, to mark the phone as lost or stolen so no one could use it. He gave me the password, and I disabled the phone from the iPad. Afterwards, we hung up, and my curiosity got the best of me. I went to the Messages app to see if he had been talking to anyone else, which I'd expected. I found out from the messages that he's been cheating on me for over 2 years, having even brought people into our apartment while I was at work. I don't know how to feel. Part of me knew inside that something was up. Another part of me feels angry for having ignored my feelings all this time. This is the first long-term relationship I've ever had. The first time I've ever lived with someone. I feel betrayed. He's been with several people over the last couple of years. Meanwhile, we haven't been intimate with each other in almost the same amount of time. He told me, I'm dealing with health problems, or I just feel self-conscious about myself. Meanwhile, he's been hooking up with other people the entire time. So, am I the butthole for going through his messages? It's not something I normally do, but I did, and my hunches were correct. OP, I hate to kick you when you're down here, but it's also possible that he wasn't actually mugged. It's possible that he went to go see a hooker or whatever, and he got robbed. Or maybe he met up with one of his girlfriends in Belgium and she got angry at him and took his phone and wallet. I mean, it's hard to say because this guy is clearly a liar. And yeah, technically it is wrong to go through your partner's phone, but, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Our next Reddit post is from rSlash Am I the Butthole? Am I the butthole for pretending to think that beans and chili are woke to prank my cousin who's obsessed with being anti-woke and who loves chili? My cousin is known for making chili, and he's good at it. He makes his own chili flakes from his secret combination of various dried chilies. It has a very nice kick. It's like the perfect amount of spice. It's hot, but not too hot. He also always adds kidney beans. Not canned beans either. Anyways, for the past 2 or 3 years, my cousin's become obsessed with all this BS about what is or isn't woke, and how woke things are the end of the world. He's always been a good dude, so I don't know what his bag is, but he's completely obsessed. It's annoying. So the other weekend, I was at his place, and he was making his famous chili. So I got the idea for a little prank. I was like, I'm surprised you still put beans in your chili. And he was like, what? Why? I was like, beans and chili are so woke. Everyone is saying so. He was like, what do you mean? And he was genuinely concerned. As if this was something serious. I said something like, yeah, beans and chili are woke. The original conservative Texans who made chili only used meat and chili. San Francisco liberals started adding beans to chili in the 60s because so many hippies were vegetarian. Now, all the woke scientists are saying beans are a better protein source than meat. He didn't say anything to that. I kind of just assumed he'd know that I was messing with him and get the joke. We've always messed around with each other and joke about it all. But he was quiet all dinner. Just yesterday, I was back again at his place and he was making his chili again. But there were no beans. It was a totally different chili. This guy's been making his chili with beans for like 15 years. I was like, what's up? Where's the beans? He was like, I don't mess with that woke garbage. I was like, what? He was like, beans and chili are woke. Even you know that. Everyone else was like, what? Because what? I was like, dude, I was just messing with you. And he got really angry. He dumped his chili in the sink and told everyone to go home. I thought he was pranking me back or something, but he was serious. The dude totally lost it. He texted me later and said this exact thing. I researched this online and it turns out you really were lying to me. Beans are not woke. How could you do this? We went back and forth for a bit. His position is even though we've historically pranked each other, I went too far and I betrayed him for making him question his chili. I tried to ask him if this at all made him think that he cared too much about woke. Like, what if beans and chili was woke? So what? He ignored that and demanded I apologize. Did I take this too far? Well, OP, he can't demand that you apologize. Doesn't he know that demanding apologies is woke? How can he say that you took it too far? Doesn't he know that accusing people of taking things too far is woke? OP, your friend needs help, man. I've also got a new favorite sentence of 2025. You made me question my beans. Our next Reddit post comes from r/traumatize them back. A friend of mine is blind, like both eyes removed as a toddler with no memory of vision blind. She has prosthetic eyes, both for appearance and for maintaining her sockets. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but apparently it can cause problems not having orbs in the orbital sockets. She told me the story of how once she went into her eye doctor, obviously to check her sockets and other anatomy, not her eyes. And the new-to-her assistant that checked her in asked her to do a routine vision check. I'm completely blind, she told the assistant. Oh, we know, but just so we can get a proper exam of your eyes, we need a record of your vision. My friend kept insisting that she was so very, very blind, and the assistant kept insisting they needed the exam to check on her eyes. Finally, fed up, my friend popped out one of her prosthetic eyes and held it out to the assistant and said, "Here, now you can examine it all you want." The doctor was apparently apologetic. I asked her why the guide dog wasn't a giveaway, and she hadn't brought her as it was just easier to have her husband take her. I don't know how her needing the assistant to guide her to the room wasn't a hint, but, well, I guess she figured it out eventually. I love this comment from Gifted Garden Snail. Imagine the eye test, though. Read me the third line on the chart. What chart? That one, on the wall. What wall? Our next Reddit post is from rSlash off my chest. I'm a 31-year-old guy, and yesterday I was at the dog park sitting on a bench while immersed in my thoughts when I saw the girl that I was dating 2 years ago, who's 31. She was walking her puppy, and I went to talk to her. She's different now. She used to be a chain smoker and a heavy drinker. She was around 200 pounds, but had a beautiful face and a very nice personality. I dated her for a while, but I couldn't see myself in a relationship with someone with such bad habits since I don't smoke and rarely drink. I also go running often and participate in some races. When I broke up with her, I was clear that the reason for it was her bad habits. She said that she was going to change them and to just give her some time. I didn't buy it. All smokers and drinkers say the same, and you don't see them change. So I decided not to commit to any maybes and what ifs, and I ended it. She was very upset about it. So in our conversation yesterday, she looked annoyed by my presence, while I was very impressed. She told me she was running now and practices mixed martial arts too. She quit drinking and smoking, and she looks like a runway model. She already had the face for that. Last night, I kept thinking how impressed I was. She must be the first smoker and drinker I know who actually quit and turned her life around. As for advice, I don't think I need any because she was clearly annoyed by me. I just needed to vent a little. Well, you can't really blame her for being annoyed. Who is thrilled to run into the person who dumped them? On this next post, OP is a woman and she gives her phone number to a cute guy at the store. And from there, things go downhill fast. Hey! Hello. I want to actually talk, not text. Call me back when you got a sec. Then, after a delay, you've been off the phone for a while now, but don't bother calling me back or anything since I'm not important and not attractive enough. Since I'm not full black, and that's what insecure white Hispanics prefer to be seen in public dating, instead of me, who obviously looks completely different than all full black guys. Which is a good thing and not a bad thing, you low IQ level tards that are scared to not fit in. Yes, I just met you today. You don't know me or my life or my preferences. Seems like you're projecting your own insecurities. I've been busy. That was wild. Go ahead and delete my number. I'm good. Girl, that is not legit. Don't contact me anymore. Delete my number. Because you obviously didn't want to date a mixed guy in the first place because his mixed ethnic nose is unattractive. I didn't get a fake rhinoplasty nose surgery like white people noses, so you're not interested in me, and I'm not your type immediately upon seeing me. Instead, you should have said, "That was my bad for not getting back to you sooner," which is no doubt clear disrespecting you after you gave me tons of respect and props in the beginning. I do think you're handsome, and I really appreciate the courage of you coming up to me, going way out of your way trying to make my day. I would love to hang out with you sometime, getting to know you, and I do value you as an equal human, and I don't prefer dating full race guys instead of you. Sleep well knowing that you're a typical, stuck-up, arrogant, full of yourself white girl against dating my mixed friend. Puke cowards that team up with full blacks that hate on light skins. Jesus Christ. For a guy who's so concerned about his skin color, he showed his true colors very quickly here. It's also so funny to me that this guy genuinely wants OP to be like, "Hello, I have just met you, and the second sentence I'm ever going to say to you is that I don't like full black people. I prefer half black people. What an introduction. That was r/top posts from Reddit, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.